Hi, in this section, we're going to talk about the best time to go to a Walt Disney World vacation. Now, I know there are times that you'd probably like to go when it's less busy or better weather, but because of vacation times or kids are in school, you can't. But you can make the most of your vacation no matter what time you are there. I'm going to start off by talking about the weather and rainfall when you're at Walt Disney World. As you can see, January, February, March, cooler months, and I can say from experience that January can actually be very cold. It can actually get down as low as 35 at night. But again, it can get up to 70s in the day, so it's actually a nice time to go. When you talk in April, May, and June, it starts getting warmer, but not as humid. So it's not a bad time to go. If you don't mind a little heat, it's good for pool. It's not too much rain. And then, July and August, definitely very hot and very humid months to go down there. September, the weather isn't bad, but it definitely does rain more in September. Even August can have a lot of rain. I have found in September that it almost rains every day that I'm down there. October, the weather's very nice, warm, but not too warm. You can still use the pools, and not too humid. Actually, October is my favorite month to go. November, very nice time to go. And December can be nice. You're in Florida, and you have to understand that between June and October, you could have hurricane season. Typically, hurricanes don't really hit Orlando. It's not that often. But Orlando is known for their thunderstorms. It's actually the thunderstorm capital, at least of the U.S. So keep that in mind. A lot of thunderstorms there, but they tend to go pretty quickly. Now, let's talk about the crowds. First off, when it's least crowded down in Walt Disney World. The second week in January through the first week in February are actually a really good time to go. They're not that busy. Kids are in school, and the weather, like I said, can get cool. It might not always be pool weather, but definitely for the parks, not that crowded. The week after Labor Day until Thanksgiving. Well, there are times that it does get a little busier, like Columbus Day weekend in October, but typically this is a good time to go. The week after Thanksgiving through the week before Christmas. If you want to see the Christmas decorations down Walt Disney World, and I recommend that. The first 2 weeks in December, I highly recommend. They're not busy, and all the decorations are up. Perfect time to go for those holiday parties down at Walt Disney World. Average attendance, the first week in January. So kids are starting to go back to school. It's still busy, but not too busy. It also has marathon weekend that week. It starts around January 3rd. And you get a lot of people coming down to do the marathons before the parks open. And the families come down, so it can be a little busier then. That's why it's average attendance. The second week of February until President's Week. Again, there's another marathon week during that first and second week of February. The end of February through the second week of March. And the last week of April through May. Now keep in mind, when you start talking about April and May, you get kids going down there as groups for dance-offs and other type of events that go down there. Also, one of the last weekends in May is Star Wars weekend. So keep in mind that that will start getting busier whenever Star Wars weekend is. And Thanksgiving week can be busy down in Walt Disney World. Now, these are the times when it's most crowded down there. And there are times when actually the parks actually have to shut for a short period of time because they actually hit the max attendance. Has this happened? Yes. Actually happened a couple years ago where all 4 parks closed at the same time. So just keep in mind that President's Week, which typically is a school vacation week, is very busy down in Walt Disney World. The third week of March through the third week of April because of spring breaks. June through Labor Day are the summer months. Kids are out of school. People take a lot of vacations in the summer. Can be very busy in Walt Disney World. I know from experience. I've been there on July 4th. It is crowded. So keep that in mind when you're making plans. Christmas through New Year's Day. Christmas and New Year's extremely crowded in Walt Disney World. I've even heard it's more crowded during Christmas than it is in July. Anytime school's out of vacation is when it's going to be busy at Walt Disney World. As we go through the other training sessions, you want to keep these busy times in mind because you want to plan accordingly. if you can only go in the busy times because of school vacation, you want to plan accordingly. So you might not see everything you would have if it wasn't as crowded, but that's okay. You can't see everything the first time you're down there, but knowing that it's going to be crowded ahead of time and planning accordingly will make it for a better vacation. In this insider tip, I'll show you how to use a crowd calculator website to help plan when you will go on vacation if you have flexibility and what park to visit on each day. This website is called undercovertourist.com, and we're actually looking at an Orlando area, and it has more than just Disney here. And what we can see is we have months going across, and then the parks, and then we can show us opening hours, events, holidays, and weather forecasts. Now, I'm going to show you what the calendar will look like if we took a vacation in April, and I'm going to narrow it down to just the Magic Kingdom for right now. We will look at other parks, and I'm going to scroll down, and we'll see a mixture of colors here. We've got red and yellow, and what the color codes mean is how crowded it will be each day. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 3 is most recommended. It will be least crowded. 4 to 6 is yellow. Neutral crowds, which is what we called earlier, average attendance. And 7 to 10 is most crowded. So we can see by looking at this calendar that first week in April is going to be very crowded. We can also see the hours of the parks, and you'll see certain things like EMH, which is extra magic hours, and we'll talk about that when we talk about parks. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and we can see other things going on like Star Wars Half Marathon Weekend, the dark side. So we have another marathon weekend going on to think about. If we're going down there during that time, it's going to be maybe a little bit more crowded because of it. So this is some of the things that this website will show you to help you planning. And let me tell you, this is so useful when you're trying to pick out what days to go to which park, because if we choose other parks, we'll get even more information when they're open, what events are going on, and we can use that to leverage the best times to go to the park. Now I'm going to add on Epcot, and we'll see how it adds more to this calendar. We have the Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival, which is quite beautiful. If you have a chance to ever see it, I recommend it. But continue and go add on Hollywood Studios. Now that we're adding more parks, we can start to notice that there are different colors for each park. So the crowd level is going to be different for each day in each park. So you'll notice if we look at March 28th, Magic Kingdom is red, Epcot is yellow, but Hollywood Studios is green. Well, if I was making a schedule for my vacation, I would say Monday would be a great day to go to Hollywood Studios, and then maybe go to Magic Kingdom on March 31st. Notice it's green. These crowd calendars are great to help us plan. Are they 100% perfect? No, but they're a good guide to making it easy and less stressful while we're on our vacation. I hope you use this calendar. It is one of the most useful calendars I have ever seen. There are others out there. This one is actually one of my favorites. Well, I hope you enjoyed this insider tip, and will join me on the next section of how to get information for planning your Walt Disney World vacation. Thank you. Bye.